Totally unprepared.
It's like, as someone who's usually jumping at anything, I'm just like, oh God, I'm sorry. I get it. No? Yeah?
Almost.
Okay.
Yes, that should be good now. You say something? Testing, testing.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I can hear you. Welcome. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just always finding things I still don't know.
Cool. Like what?
Oh, for some reason I thought you could add an image directly as its own block.
You can. No, you can't.
That's what I was like, you can't, but you can.
Yeah.
If it's added already. So I was just going to put a suggestion in there to be like, can I just do this directly, please?
Yeah,
like,
please do.
So yeah.
Yeah, you've got to, you've got to copy and paste it into a content block and then promote it out, which is a bit of a pain. It's a good suggestion. I think it's somewhat related to the fact that we're not really doing much yet in terms of drag and drop or anything like that on this container piece. So I think Rowan first added these. The whole point of these is you grab those and drag them up and down. And it's just like there's no drag and drop on that layer at all outside of the blocks.
Yeah.
And I guess with that, then we could start dragging in things into the spaces in between blocks.
So can you then drag an image? You can't drag an image out though. You can like copy it out or like paste it.
Can you drag it from one block into another block?
I think you can drag from one to the other, but I don't think you can drag it out to be its own.
No. And I think that's the same thing. That there's no place to drop in between the main blocks on the article. Yeah. Yet.
Well, just somewhat.
This is super cool, Steve. I'm loving the all of the screenshots you're dropping.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
All of the different ways that you're looking at your. I bet when you wrote this, you didn't actually think that it would.
Well, this article, yeah.
Yeah. It would have so much use.
Definitely.
It's super cool.
Well, I've started carving out. I've had this project for a while. It's about time to do something about it. There's the seismic attributes book, because that's a really good. There's a huge list of seismic attributes, and it's all like this paper, so it's all very matplotlib type. It's all about looking at seismic sections and stuff like that. So that would make a lovely piece of content, just to summarize loads of different ways to compute seismic stuff.
So cool.
And of course, I just posted Seismica as a journal, because I knew about Tectonica, Volcanica, and a Strat one, but I didn't realize there was a Seismica as well. So I've added that to my template list.
Oh, did you actually?
I've added to my list to bring in, yeah. And
That's
I think
awesome.
I'll try and do that early. So great.
Yeah, it looks like, well, Tectonica is just getting up and going. So I think, well, it would be fun to talk to some of them.
Yeah.
I'm in their Slack group as well. Super cool.
Are they all one thing?
I think they are at least related.
Right, okay. So that one Slack has got everybody in there. It's a sort of single community.
I'm sure that you could hop from one to the other.
All right. Okay. Cool. There's this sort of tag in here at the moment as well. Had you noticed that at all at any point, Liz?
I have not.
No, that's in as a tag at the moment.
Well, okay, now I'm curious. Because I've tagged a few things. Sometimes I do it, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah, the only one that will show up is abstract. That's a special tag at the minute.
Oh, okay.
And that's just to remind you that this is your abstract.
Huh.
Rowan had the idea of this should probably render as an H1 like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably right. That's something we could do. But I haven't done that yet because that means rearranging the text. Yeah, I didn't do that. But anyway, that's to highlight that that's your abstract.
Nice.
And so if you go and we choose one of these new templates.
Beautiful popovers.
Let's do the, yeah, that was fun. Oh, I have to go around it though. Yeah, well, that's just can't have everything here. Earth Archive 2 column. And what I realized is Earth Archive has got a pretty wide open format. So we've got a couple of formats in here, 1 2 column, 1 column that complies. Well, it almost complies. We've got one thing left to do, and that's to get the corresponding author row, which we'll do very soon. Because I think maybe a lot of submission places will at least want that. So
I feel like that's a pretty standard option.
yeah. I'll open now. Oh, yeah. Then we get that lovely into. I like this template because they've gone and they've used ticks to put like the typesetting corners on.
Yeah.
And we've got the heading in non-peer reviewed Earth Archive preprint, which is their suggested text that they want on there. It was either that or a cover page. And I guess some places will want a cover page. And we've got sort of all the link decoration. The DOI package on, so it automatically recognizes DOIs and builds the correct link.
That's cool.
Should do.
This is looking great.
Yeah, cool. And this one's got an ORCID ID on. So that should take me to my ORCID profile, which it has. My one's empty. I should just fill it up. But nice, but that's lovely. And now we can export as something else. Maybe it's just me, but I really want an export again button to take me back. I wonder how many people who aren't testing the thing will want that too.
Oh, and now you're doing a single
Yeah.
column. Nice. And that's actually a full different PDF or full different template.
I did a different template because, as well as just changing the one document option, there's some of the structure code to change as well. Because once you're dealing with 2 column, if you want to have the header block, you have to go in and actually say, "Oh, well, pause 2 column, please, and restart 2 column." So, yeah, maybe we'll be able to condense that in the future and have it driven by options. But
yep.
Maybe a bit too much space in between there. Maybe trim that back.
Is that not set by their template, or is that you actually going?
There's a V space in there, but I was tweaking, so it was only supposed to be 0.5 centimeter though, but that looks like 4 centimeter. I can tweak that back. Cool, great. So more of these to come.
Yeah. That's
Nice.
looking fantastic.
We've still got something better to do with code, which we'll do, and I think we'll probably apply to all templates once we do.
Yep.
Just a better verbatim block with slightly smaller font and some line numbers would make a big difference, I think.
And is that like not going to, what was it? There's listings and minted are the two.
Yeah, currently we've got 3 options in the template schema. So you can either just say, yeah, you can say verbatim or highlighted. Actually, I think there's maybe only 2 on this. And yeah, so the third one, minted, required pigments to be installed. And it was really awkward the way it dealt with environments. So when we did our last upgrade, we sort of lost that ability temporarily to have it colored. And I think switching to listings is a much more flexible, and it won't require the pigments sort of build time dependency, which is going to be important for people who are, grabbing the latex and building themselves. Or potentially as well, if people are grabbing the latex and pushing that into a submission system.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Let me just bring up.
So listings, it has some very basic.
You can get color backgrounds, you can get syntax highlighting in there. I've seen some examples of people getting it working. And our templates repo is taking shape. We've got some documentation up here. And I'll update this. We're just about to break out a separate templating module. But we can see some of the templates taking shape. Huh, that's not rendering the thumbnail.
Sure, it's a refresh option. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh no, there it is. Just took a second. So we're sort of establishing a pattern for the layout of the templates. So we have the template stuff itself, like a change log, and some example content. So somebody could actually run and build with some example content using our template library, which I started carving out an hour or so ago. So that will be up to date tomorrow on GitHub somewhere. And then the original stuff, sort of verbatim. And I guess we establish that pattern and keep it running, and then we'll have a load of templates up here over time, which is uniform. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice. Exciting. And there's been a couple of changes to this one as well. The link colors are better now. I guess what I keep doing is as I learn stuff,
bring the
from
good
newer
things back.
templates, we pull good things back and make this thing better as we go.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
super cool. Awesome. Anything from your world today, Liz?
Talked about images a little earlier.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I guess I was curious with the new previous and next stuff. Is that going to be something you guys have thought about, like toggling on and off? Because there's definitely things I'm like, I don't want that to go to next, or could you like control those more? Maybe.
Are you thinking at the like an article level, or?
I guess I'm thinking like, okay, say I have my project, but there's some extra. Okay, so say there's like an actual textbook, but the next thing in it isn't the next chapter. It's like an example or like a notebook that's just an extra file in there that you don't necessarily want to go to next, but you want it to live there, but maybe you don't want that to be the next. thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, just where there's certain times where it just doesn't have to be there. I don't know, just thinking of more options. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like that makes sense with the like turning it off or turning like basically a muted sort of content that is in the navigation but you don't actually want to get to, or that doesn't like isn't the next.
Does it know to skip something that isn't published?
Yes, it does know how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just see it as like there's some notebooks like in the inversion module right now that I'm like, okay, it's technically the next thing, but it's also mostly just referenced throughout the text, and it should exist kind of nested under it, but it's not really the next thing. If you're flipping through a textbook, you see it, and you're just like, I'll do it later. So I'm kind of wondering if it's something people might want to just skip over.
Yeah. I guess there's like full-blown customization.
Yeah.
Then there's maybe, you know, I don't know, because it's basically depth first at the moment, isn't it? In terms of the way it traverses, it keeps going down and then back up. I wonder if you could get any other options, like an option to say stay at that level, where it will point to the next large one. So it reminds me of those old text, very plain text sites. So you're starting to get where you got next previous up or next section or down. Do you know what I mean? I guess. Yeah. Were there any examples in here that got you thinking of that in particular?
Not necessarily, because I feel like everything here is kind of like the docs. You want to just go through it. Like you don't want to go skip around as it is. I guess I'm just thinking more about like a textbook rather than these guys. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect every user to read every single docs page, so they should use those notes.
It's totally fair.
If you don't know how to use it, read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess we're not gonna. I guess we'll see how this sort of beds in, and that still gets me all the time. I want to collapse that one, but it's selected, so it won't let me.
Oh yeah, that caught me a few times.
Oh.
Is that Chrome that crashed? Is Steve just frozen?
I don't know. I think so.
He looks pretty frozen.
So that's interesting.
He's in charge of the entire.
Oh dear.
Did you see the? I don't know if I can share my screen. No.
Okay, we'll just have to edit these things. Oh no.
He's gone. I can't share. Oh no, now I can.
Like, you're the host, right? You should be.
Oh, I guess I became the host when.
Yeah.
Did you see this guy?
I did. This was really cool.
This is Alastair's blog. He's over in Warsaw, I suppose, at the moment, and he's doing all sorts of geophysical stuff. Well, this sort of stuff on there. There's 3D diagrams, and then he had all of his. Oh, not that one. I'm not quite sure which one it was.
Yeah, like the interactive map.
Yeah, like all of these data explorers where he has
Yeah. This was definitely
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
which is like is totally cool. I'm glad that he's showing some of this publicly. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like. I don't know quite what all the various things
Mhm.
in this do, but you're supposed to be able to edit these. You can at least lasso them and they show up. That's the lasso.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, hello. You're back. Your computer's survived something.
Yeah, the whole computer would.
Oh, no.
Chrome definitely went first. Though.
I'm gonna blame it on Zoom. And how's the geophysics textbook going at the moment? Was
That's the what?
the geosci textbook?
Oh, I mean, as of last week, it's been broken up. And I think folks are back to working on some of the content, so that's good. Yeah,
Doug is back working on some of the content.
I think so.
Well, that's sweet.
It appeared to be that he was a little bit, but I haven't checked too much. I told them just to let me know when they needed more help and whatnot. So,
Nice.
but they were definitely, there's been things added, so that is good. I think with the buttons and everything getting split up, and now that they're shorter articles, there'll be more work done. I think it's at least, like, I'd forgotten how big it was when I started splitting it up and realized, oh my god, why was this all together? So no, it's really, I definitely like that it feels like a textbook now that you can flip through and access a lot better.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping there's a few more examples and stuff to get into the stuff that's about finished, but I think it's just them kind of getting some of the code together and pulling in the examples from Jupyter. So
should we do a better job of recognizing notebooks in the nav? Do you think? Does it matter?
Do you mean highlighting them in some way?
Like having like a little Jupyter logo or notebook?
I wouldn't be opposed to that, especially if it got rid of just the .ipython notebook extension at the end.
That should be gone now, as in you can feel free to remove that in the title, and well, by default, new ones that come in no longer get that added.
Okay, cool. It might have just been old ones.
And the extension shouldn't fight you and try and update it anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
That could be good, like the little Jupyter icon. Are you looking now at something in particular?
I'm just like staring at the oh, you're now in charge and I can't share.
Here, let me change that. I'm kind of glad the call stayed live.
I think it's these ones. Like I sort of feel like it would be nice to, and actually maybe it's just in like the overview, even like knowing what type it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's certainly there. Of like, it would be nice to know that this is a notebook.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I mean, we were planning on more styling or
Yeah.
slightly different styling for the notebooks, which will make it more obvious on change on on page. But yeah, you need to know that there's a notebook to go to. Thing is, if they're private as well, and you get the Jupyter icon, imagine we added it to the end where the
Yeah.
thing is, you start to
It
lose a bit
takes-
of real estate.
Yeah, it takes a little bit off there. Hmm. Interesting. And then I think just showing this again differently, if it is a notebook somehow. I'm still not sure what that actually looks like. Yeah, this is all looking super amazing. Super stoked. And it was so cool to see. Like Steve, I don't know if you took a look through this, but just the blog that Alastair's been putting together in Curvenote, as
Oh, cool.
well as all of his processing software is fantastic. So these are all, I believe, panel visualizations. They're pretty data heavy actually. But so full maps, and then
And they're interactive.
yeah. So you can
Yeah, cool.
like standard deviation. So he has like his full data set here that you can
Awesome.
actually go in and take a look at. Standard deviation, I guess. Yeah. And they're all linked as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So they're actually using this as part of their processing workflows for like while they're out in the field.
Nice.
Pretty fantastic. Yeah. And then just sharing them on Curvenote.
Cool.
Awesome. I don't have too much to share this week. I'm hoping that by next week, maybe we can have a preview of the website.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that would actually be pretty cool. I'm very. Have you? Well, I don't know. I might as well share it.
You
Should I
get a
share
sneak
it?
peek.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
This is what I was working on today. Excuse all of the anything text, especially. So this is the Curvenote side, and just kind of similar to what we have now. And I haven't pushed that out too much. About is just copied over. Pricing is like a little bit nicer. FAQs as well. I'm mostly focusing on structure, not the content quite yet.
Yeah.
Those are all the same. And then we have the For Jupyter page, which I was working on a bit today. I was thinking like maybe actually a video, like a Loom like video here that actually explains it, because I feel like it's good to see the workflow in action, and I feel like that's a little hard to describe. Well, I don't know. And then a couple of these callouts of comments and notebook version control, some very a few features, and then I was thinking something like 1, 2, 3.
That's
Install
nice.
it, sync your notebook, and share it, and then a few other things at the end.
That's nice. The images, obviously those ones are small because they're in that flow, but the further ones up look nice and big.
Yeah, these are actually pretty solid. Nice big center one. Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Liz? I think this is the first time you've seen this iteration.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I mean, I don't know. I guess not too much. Kinda, I mean, it looks similar enough to the other one, but I do feel like it's more open in general. Like there's, I don't know. I guess it's like the Jupyter side of things was there, so that's good.
A lot of the text is bigger. I mean, not the strap line there, but when you go down, that's okay. That's a bit bigger. Definitely the timeline thing at the bottom is a lot more readable.
Yeah.
Feel
And I think that's like,
well,
well,
we had feedback on that. There's like,
yeah,
things are a bit too small, difficult to read, and this really stands out.
I guess I see it as like the Jupyter side of things didn't need too much improvement, just because that was the strength so much on the website before. So I was like, it looks good. It's pretty consistent. So
yeah, I'm excited to do some of these other ones. These ones don't quite exist yet. And then the main page, I think we'll have to add a bunch too. So anyways, that's where I'm at.
It's good.
yeah, like I like the colors and whatnot. Just I don't know, blue's better than just white.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit more on that side of things as well. So
And sneak peek at the new logo. So you saw it here first.
and I quite like when you scroll, it turns, it's then like flips its color a little bit. Still need to, actually not on that one, but on mobile view it doesn't quite work yet. It's just white until you actually scroll a little bit. So you need to figure a few more things out. There. Yeah, that's what I've been ticking away at, trying to get that all going.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Take a bigger look next week and some new content as well.
Yeah,
I think we'll have a bunch of content. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I think we should
have a bunch of what new content
ready. Yeah.
I think all of it needs an overhaul. I've been going on some and going back and forth on a whole bunch, but anyways, we'll work it out. I think throwing some sort of document together to actually go through what this looks like.
Cool.
Awesome.
What happened last week? I think there's a lot. A lot's been changing, and more's coming as well. So in August there's going to be a whole bunch of changes to the app. Exciting.
Cool. So we call it there.
Yeah. And see you next week.
Cool.